back. How are we all doing? So I have an interesting one today. So I've spent the last couple of days watching Discord, getting messages, and wanted to cover and speak out for the community in regards to the recent changes made with this season. I have an entire script that I've went through written out that has stuff from Stalcraft's official Discord in their discussion section, plus messages from people, as well as talking with clan leaders and their communities as well. So if I'm not looking at the camera, that's why I'm physically reading this, so I don't lose my train of thought or go on a tangent that doesn't need to be addressed at this time. So we're just gonna dive right on in. Welcome back to the zone. Today's video is not about loot runs, muting farming, or faction wars. It's about you, the Stalcraft community, and the massive wave of feedback, frustration, and fire aimed at the new seasonal leveling system. What started as a new idea from the devs quickly spiraled into a storm of backlash, and in this video, we're giving the mic to the community. The new XP system had potential, but in execution flipped the script from open world exploration to rigid checklists, and it's left a bitter taste to a lot of us. Let's break it all down. The season system, the developers introduced a new season pass mechanic that completely changed how players earn progression. They moved season points and replaced them with system tied to daily quests. The idea was simple on paper, get players to do more open world content, but in execution it backfired hard. Instead of promoting freedom, it forced players into a narrow task categories with heavy restrictions. The grinding became tedious, the sense of player choice evaporated, and worse, the rewards didn't match the effort. But let's give credit where it's due. The devs clearly had a goal. They wanted players to explore the game, branch out, and not just grind Forge endlessly. But in practice, the changes didn't land. Daily tasks were ultra specific. Mutant kills, exact camps, pinpoint objectives. The freedom we had in the past was stripped away when replaced with a checklist that punished players for doing the wrong activities. Worst XP gains became gated behind the rigid system, miss your dailies, tough luck. Wanted to play the season battles or roam the map casually, enjoy getting next to no progress. You can't say stop grinding the past like a job, and then turn around and remove all passive XP gain. If you don't do your assigned tasks each day, you get 0 season XP, and that's the reality now. Meanwhile, players can drop $500, hit level 1,000 on the day, and dump red gear into the market, killing its balance. It's not a fair system, that's a pay to skip with a penalty for grinders. Then remove season XP from playing session battles. You can play for 30 minutes and get next to nothing. It's a joke now. But before, you could at least get rewarded for participation. Now you get nothing and waste your time. Grinders and veterans get punished. Let's not sugarcoat it, the biggest losers here were the most active players. The very people who keep the game alive in between content drops have now found themselves hitting soft caps, getting told not to grind too hard, and watching whales zoom to 1,000 on day 1 by throwing cash at the screen. If the dev says you shouldn't finish the pass in 2 weeks, but then allow players to buy their way to the finish line in 2 hours, how is that not hypocritical? And it gets worse. North players got gutted. Farming season points used to be inefficient up north, but now it's all dried up. South got buffed, North got nerfed, and those who had already beaten the storyline, they're just standing around wondering what they're supposed to do now. Now, don't get me wrong, the South needs to be buffed, right? Your new players that are coming in, they need to feel almost welcome, give them something to do, they can see their progress happening in real time. But in order to do that, you can't stunt your North players, your veteran players that have been here for so long that now they're sitting there wondering why. What did we do to have this happen to us where we're happy the South got? Don't get me wrong, no one is upset that the South got buffed. It needed to happen. It allows more people to come in, experience the game, and say, you know what, actually this is a great game, I'm sticking around. Until they get to the North and they're in their second season and realize it's dog shit. Not quite dog shit, but you understand what I'm saying. So here's some numbers they didn't show. The system disproportionately gimps late game players. South players now benefit from the improved accessibility of Season Pass. That's great, honestly, but the North, once you finish the main story, there's almost nothing left to do. The North used to be where you could farm high-level content for solid rewards. Now it's a checklist and RNG rerolls. Grinding mutant dens, Forge 11, these used to be viable, rewarding options, and now barely give any XP. The only path to season XP is re-rolling into the correct objectives. You can fight people, you can do clan wars, but for a lot of people, that's not a long-term form of content. Especially when matchmaking and balancing issues with those make those systems unreliable. Now, the devs did come out and have responded to some of the backlash or some of the feedback they've been hearing. And we're going to kind of dive into some of that, including the update that just happened on 6/7. Ziv did come out and admit they overthought things. They're planning changes. Here's what they've said. Unlimited repeat dailies without changing quest conditions. A soft cap XP curve after 18 tasks, 250 to 100 to 50 per task. Weekly goals, any 15, 45, and 75 daily grants plus 5 levels each. Fixed a bug expiration bonus and added 700 XP to it. Now, these are good changes. It shows that the devs are listening, but it's also clear they are underestimating how the system would feel, not just how it would work on paper. But it still limits the average player progression. The core issue remains, XP is too tightly controlled. If you miss time, you're behind. You want to play how you enjoy, too bad, no XP for that. And I've seen a lot of things coming back that this is coming from NA server, right? We are a much smaller server size than EU or RU. So the changes they're making might make sense in RU. It might even make some sense in EU. But from what I'm understanding is NA, EU, and C servers, this just doesn't work. The way they want to implement it, for whatever reason, isn't working on this side. In RU servers, sure, but they also have 30 times the player count that we do on this side. And they are slowly dwindling that player count on NA, EU, and C side even more than it already is now. And then now we have the reaction to the patch that was just released on 6.7. Here came the balance patch update, and people like Exam quickly broke it down. Previously, you had 4 categories of quests, 4 each, giving 8,000 points per day when you included bonuses. After the update, 1 category was moved, category bonuses were cut, and now you need 45 tasks for less XP, around about 7,715 points total, with way more effort. The fix is actually more of a grind and less rewards. Now, I didn't get a chance to talk to some of these people that some of their messages are actually going to be put into the script here and kind of breaking down what they were talking about. I wasn't able to include all of them. I also had a lot of messages that were sent to me. I've talked to different people, and there will be at the end kind of like a credits of everything that I got from people. So if it isn't a direct message that doesn't show up in the feed or like the script that's giving your name a shout out, I apologize. I'm not joking, I probably had 30, 40 messages plus a couple emails, so I apologize. First one that I did want to go over that I found really interesting is from Sergeant Sass. Another detailed piece of feedback came from Sergeant Sass, who uncovered the biggest issue, gatekeeping. According to him, new players were starting to favor the battle pass progression over core barter gameplay, so the devs made XP gains harder to slow that down. His fix and kind of what he's recommending or a solution, turn level 500 gear into a barter coupon form, and add those to the exchanger gated behind faction rep and northern materials, and bring back direct XP but with restrictions. No XP from easy zones like swamps, roadside, and scrapyard. Reduce XP in mid-tier zones. Full XP from north where the real risk meets real reward. I see where that is going, but you're also, let's say a new player joins at the beginning of the season. It is completely viable to make it to the north and level that up if you push straight through the content. Now, if you start middle of the season, it's still viable, but a little bit harder. You're gonna have to put your time in. If you end at the end of it, hi puppy, hi. If you start towards the end of it, you're not gonna make it. And that's also just part of the game, right? That's with any battle pass. You start playing Call of Duty, you're not gonna finish that battle pass out in 2 weeks. It's just kind of how it works. So it is a real, going that way works and should be taken into consideration in some form. This message is from Poozy223. Now let's talk about Poozy. Muted from the Discord during the mass bans for just sharing opinions, and like many, they're furious. Their breakdown of the new patch matches with Exam said, more tasks, fewer rewards, zero improvement. At this point, it's clear the developers don't care. They're dumping on us and expecting us to smile and say thank you. His words are strong and there's passion behind him, and he's not alone. There's a lot of people that feel this way, that we are just being pushed to the wayside as a community, that they're gonna do what they want, and at the end of the day, it's their game. They can do what they want, but when you don't have the players to keep playing it, what are you gonna keep doing? Sorry. I don't know if you can see her. She's just wanting to be in. Can you say hi? Yeah, can you say hi? Can I finish this though? Can I finish this, please? Great. I love you. Thank you. And now I wanted to cover some community solutions. Coming from the community, this is not necessarily all of my feelings, but I do agree with a good portion of them. What we want. Here's the community is suggesting. Reintroduce passive XP for doing any content, camps, mutants, events, sessions. Bring back sealed points, even in reduced form, so that all playstyles feel rewarded. Address late game content. North players feel sidelined. There's nothing new to aim for after the main story. Expanded quest lines and zones. Add a new high-level areas tied to meaningful PvE and PvP content. Let us earn rep, farm unlockable zones, and use rubles to buy access or key cards or keys crafted by crafters. Crafting economy integration. Require an advanced recipe or item syncs like keys or tokens to stabilize inflation. These types of content build progression without punishing the player for how they play. Another big one is the stash overhaul. The new stash restrictions hit artifact hunters hard. Can't stash run, can't store anything but base resources. You're forced to stop hunting and haul gear back mid-run. It's clunky, risky, and kills momentum, especially for solo and PvE-focused players who don't have backup. We get that it's meant to limit hoarding, but at the end, just punishing casual gameplay loops that players actually enjoyed and want to participate in. The NA already doesn't have a massive amount of artifact hunters. So it does... I get where they're wanting to control the economy a little bit more so it doesn't get out of hand, but I don't know if changing a stash is going to fix that. And the hoarding side of it, that's going to happen no matter what. At the end of the day, even if someone's got 5-6 rows of arties, they go back and they're not selling them, it's still hoarding it, even if they didn't put that one red bracelet in a stash. Matchmaking overhaul, a dream for the future. One massive community idea, fix matchmaking. Matchmaking should be based on highest gear, armor, gun, arties when leaving safe zone, not just your KD. I don't even think KD is fully implemented in it. Their matchmaking is the weirdest one I've ever seen, quite frankly. Add visible matchmaking tiers to the PDA so you know where we stand. Let us down tier intentionally. Grab an AKS and some rain gear to go play with our new friends and not be bringing them into a higher bracket. Add tier-based rewards. Low pop lobbies equal 25% bonus. High pop is 250. Encourage active matchmaking. So kind of going back to that down tier intentionally. If people want to down tier and be able to do their things, let them. If they want to push up and run the max gear with high KDs, let them benefit from that. It's not hurting anybody in the between or in the ladder. This also helps avoid seal clubbing, improving new player retention, and gives old gear and unique veteran sets a real value again. Meaning those, between 100 and 200 levels of the season pass that have a veteran gun and armor, as a seasoned player who's rocking masterwork, why in the hell are we gonna run it? It sits in the stash and takes up room. If you're anything like me, I just sell off the skin for it because I'm not going to use it. I have no reason to ever equip that gun besides maybe for a video that I'm creating. After that, I don't touch it. It sits to the wayside and takes up space for no reason. And now onto session battles. This one is the one that's a sore spot for me. Once a bright spot is now a joke. Session battles used to be great, now worse than they were ever 4 months ago. Once a highlight, now a footnote. You get no season XP besides the small amount from dailies that after you complete 4 of them, you're getting less than 50 XP each completion. This has changed, so I haven't updated the script on this part with the new patch notes. I don't know how that looks overall yet, but it still ties, the rest of it still ties in. Dailies are tied to sessions, feel random and inconsistent. Playing for fun just isn't rewarded anymore. There's no passive XP besides what the little you get from completing dailies. No seals and no sealed points gained. No real reason to play if you're not chasing a win. You can grind for 30 minutes and now even earn a third of the level towards your 300 max. It's just demoting. If the goal is to promote variety, why gut one of the more unique and structured parts of the game? It's a disconnect from where the mode was meant to be, a fun PvP focused way to contribute to your pass. So, some of the final thoughts. Stalcraft's community is passionate. We've stuck through server wipes, faction wars, broken mechanics, and brutal PvP. Because we love this world. When feedback is ignored, systems are gutted, and silence replaces communication, that passion turns into frustration. So if you're a dev watching this, please understand the anger comes from people who care. We want the game to thrive, we want to grind, but also we want to be heard. Everything they said they wanted to do this season, they did the opposite. Look, nobody wants to hate on Expo. The passion is there, the effort is visible, and the devs are responding faster than most live service games ever would. But communication matters, execution matters, and making gameplay feel restrictive, time-gated, and punishing, that's not the way forward. You can't say we don't want people to focus on grinding and then make it so if you don't grind your checklist, you literally get 0 BP or Battle Pass XP. If we're trying to improve the game for everyone, newbies and vets alike, and that's meeting in the middle, restore the freedom, balance the grind, and give all the players a reason to log in. They said freedom, but gave us mandatory tasks. They said better rewards, but locked them behind RNG rerolls. And then they said more explanation, but nuked passive incentives from North farming. Fixing this isn't hard. Add passive XP again. Buff meaningful rewards to all playstyles. Respect player time and stop pushing free-to-plays while whales flood the economy on day one. We love this game, but this system, it's not it, and we all know it. All of this info I have covered in this, so all of the all the info that I have covered in this video is from the community itself. I spent a good amount of time gathering info from clan communities, DMs, and looking through Stalcraft's discussion server. And Expo, thanks for listening so far if you're here, but the community said its piece, let's fix this. Thank you to everyone that shared their thoughts and feelings with me, even if your messages were muted or buried. If you enjoyed this video or have something to say, drop it down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want more zone content or another video like this if we have a reason to. Or, you know, if you're just tired of yelling in the void, I'm here for you guys. Until next time, stay safe out there, stalkers.